So today is the 22nd of October, 22, very auspicious number. And this is going to be uploaded to YouTube whenever they decide that my 24 hours are up. They decide to put me in timeout. They said I uploaded too many videos in a 24-hour time span, which whatever. So what's on my mind today is sobriety in this society. I don't know how many of y'all are sober. If you're not, that's cool too. There's a time for each. So I started partying when I was 18, right? And now I'm more than double that age, and it's lost its appeal to me. You know, some people party their whole life, and I guess, hey, if your whole life is a party and then you want to party your whole life, go ahead. I ain't here to stop you. But at this point in my life, you know, I don't use substances. Like, a substance needs to use you. You don't use substances, substances use you. Because, you know, all of these things that are considered substances that give you a head change, that make you drunk, make you high, whatever, they are inert. You know, you can look at it all day long and it's not going to hurt you. But the minute you decide to put it in your body is when you give it power. You feel? And I got tired of giving my power away. I've been sober for almost 2 years, completely sober. Like, no smoking, no drinking. And I used to be a borderline alcoholic. Back a few years ago, I lost custody of my kids. And it wasn't something I ever thought I would be comfortable talking about. But it wasn't because I was a bad mother. It was just circumstances. You know, my circumstances at that time, I was evicted from my apartment. I lived in a hotel for 2.5 years. Then, out of the blue, I lost my job. So I lost my job, my place to stay. I didn't even have a car. I was living in somebody else's car. I didn't have the resources to take care of my kids. So I left them with their father. You know, I didn't abandon my kids. You know, a lot of times people try to change the narrative. I've been called a deadbeat. I've been called all that. I left my kids somewhere that I knew they would be safe. And I feel like that's the most selfless decision I've ever made, because as a mother without her kids, I can't even describe it to you. Like, it's indescribable. It's almost a death of sorts, you know? But I made the right decision for them, because where I was going, I couldn't take them. You know, the path that I went down, I wouldn't want my worst enemy to walk that with me. You know? Excuse me. So I left my kids where they were safe. I miss them a lot. You know, I love them. That's been about, 4 years ago. And I'm just now getting back into their lives. I had to get myself right. But at first, I felt like I was being punished for leaving my kids. I felt like I deserved it. I felt like I didn't even deserve to be around my children. And one thing I've learned is you bring punishments on yourself. If you feel guilty, then you let that energy in, and guilty people deserve what? Punishment, right? So, because that's how I felt about myself, I saw it as a punishment. But now, you know, now that I have the clear view of hindsight in my mindsight, I see that it was necessary. Because my kids went from living in a hotel to taking trips to Disneyland. Like, they're living their best life. It's like, I set you free and you flew. And that's just it. And there's nothing to feel guilty about. You know, sometimes you have to make the best move, even if that means taking yourself off the board. So that being said, that is what started down my path of fuckery. I drank a lot. I drank to ease the pain, But eventually that bottle will turn on you. You know, you can drink to forget. And, you know, maybe at first, 9 times out of 10, it'll work. But that 10th time, I remember I had drank a whole bottle of liquor one night to forget. And instead of forgetting, I remembered. And I just sat in my bed and I just cried. Cried for what I felt like I lost. And I'm like, why would the liquor do this to me? Why would you turn on me? And, you know, I fell back from it, but I didn't really stop. You know, time went on. I found myself in a relationship. But the relationship was really, you know, fuck, party, drink, smoke. One of those type relationships. Where you think it's a relationship, but you're not really growing together. You're just, in essence, wasting each other's time. It was fun, don't get me wrong, but it didn't take me anywhere. It didn't take me anywhere but to a fucking hotel. And now my legs hurt the next day. And I'm hungover. Like, I got to a point where I was tired of substances using me. You know, I used to be a super pothead. I used to be high from the time I woke up to the time I went to sleep. I knew it was a problem when I realized one week I had spent $600 on weed. And ask me how, I don't even know. I don't know how I spent $600 on weed. But now that I look back at it, it's like I literally took like 6 hundos, right? And I rolled them up and I smoked it. That's what weed is to me. You're literally, like, you're smoking green, right? You're smoking money. So now, it was, I won't say it was hard to quit, because it's all in your mind. It's all in your mind. What you have to be sick of it enough to say, fuck this. I'm not going to let this shit rule my life. And so, I quit both around the same time. You know, I was tired of waking up feeling like shit for some shit I did yesterday. Or tired of feeling like, you know, they say weed gets you high, but it's a temporary high. You get low, then you get high. And it's like, you're on a seesaw. And you never get off. And now, I look at it like I'm in the penthouse. And if you're trying to get high, it's like, okay, I'll send the elevator down to you. This is where I live. And you might got like a day pass. You can be here for like 2 hours or something. But then you got to go back down. You can come back up, but you have to keep repeating the process in order to get your so-called high. I don't like it. It dumbs me down. And that's how I quit everything that I wanted to quit, because I would think about the things I didn't like about it. Like with drinking, like everybody knows about the post-drinking diarrhea. Don't nobody want to deal with that. I would have horrible headaches. It would give me heart palpitations because of the dehydration. I would wake up feeling like I drank a desert. Like my mouth would be like sandpaper. I hated it. I hated it. So thinking about all of the things that I hated about it made it easier to stop. And I'm really a cold turkey person. Like I might, you know, seesaw a little bit, go back and forth, but once I have made up my mind, that's it. There's no turning back. And it was about the same time I did with weed too. You know, I used weed for pain management. You know, I have some issues with my joints, but I don't even let the pain in. If I get to a point where the pain is too much and I'm hurting my neck and my back and my shoulders hurt and all this shit hurts, well, I just do the same thing. I'll just take that energy and put it into a poem. Like I did that one day. I was in so much pain, and I just said how I started. I said, you know, I feel it when the weight crushes over. Atlas upholding the blue marble, the weight of the world blanketed on my shoulders, because that's what it felt like. It felt like there was so much pressure on my shoulders that I was carrying the weight of the world. So I take pain now, and that's my pain reliever. Like I don't need to pop a bunch of pills. I've done that before too, you know. I've done all the things that I have superseded. Like, I don't need those things. They need me. Like, I walk by a liquor store almost every day, and it has no power over me. I live in Brooklyn, which, if you don't know nothing about Brooklyn, it's like, okay, so in other cities, you know, it's like a coffee shop on every corner, like a Dunkin' Donuts or where, Starbucks, whatever. That's how smoke shops are around here. Weed is abundant. Weed is very abundant. I walk by that shit every day, and I don't go in there because it doesn't have power over me. I took my power back. And weed, it does have its advantages where it can help you tap into your creativity. I used to think that I wrote better when I was high. This is when I smoked a lot of weed. I didn't really write unless I was high because it got that river flowing. But it also, like, it helped me flow, but it was like a lazy flow. It's like a lazy river, right? And now that I've stopped that, so we went from lazy river, so now we're in the whitewater rapids territory. It's so foolish of me to think that I ever needed any of that in order to cope, in order to survive, in order to get through my day. And if that's how you feel, like, I'm sorry for you, but there's such a different way. And I feel like I don't get along with most people, especially my age, because a lot of people are still in that smoke, party, drink, fuck mindset. Like, all the time, every weekend, every day. That's your entire life. And now that I have cut that out, I don't want to be around those people. You know, I don't want to hang out with those type people. I had a friend that I used to be friends with back when I lived in Georgia, South Carolina. And we had got back in touch recently before my birthday in August. If y'all didn't know, I'm a Leo. Like, you probably heard me talk about it in my poems. I talk about lions a lot. In my other one, I said I'm a LEO. That's like a CEO. Get it? Leo, CEO. And this was a old friend of mine. And we're both Leos. Our birthdays are a day apart. Hers was August 14th. Mine's August 15th. And she swore up and down for over a month she was going to come up here. We were going to spend our birthdays together. And she wanted to drink with me. And for a minute, I considered it. Because I'm like, you know what? Like I said, I play by my own rules, but I break them when I need to. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's my birthday. I can have a drink if I want to. And then I'll go right back to turning it off. But now I'm like, why was I even considering breaking my sobriety for somebody that when the time came, 2 days before her birthday, she just went off the grid. I didn't hear from her. And she didn't even tell me happy birthday. And you know what? It's not the first time she did that. And that's my stupid fault for going back to somebody that I know doesn't even deserve me. Like, you say you're my best friend, our birthdays are a day apart, and I can't even get a happy birthday? Fuck you, ho. So she went straight to the block list. Like, I'm not even playing with people. I don't have time to play with people. Don't think you can play with me, neither. So I cut that shit off expeditiously. And I'm not even mad. It's like, okay, you're still where I was when we were partying together 5 years ago. And I just have no desire to do that anymore. I'm over it. Now, can I say I will be sober for sure 100% for the rest of my life? No. You know what? I feel like I could have a glass of champagne to celebrate something. You know, when I have something to celebrate, like, I don't know, my first $1 million, that's something worthy of celebration. But I'm not celebrating just because I got off my shitty 9-to-5 job and I have a couple days off. This is my time and I could be doing anything I want with it, and I just choose to pollute my mind. No, that's not for me. And I'm not looking down on you if that's you. I've been there, but I have risen above. sobriety is a fucking amazing, honestly. And a lot of people say, well, sober people are boring. Bitch, where? Have you heard me? Do anything I say sound boring? No. I don't spit nothing but facts. And I don't need a substance to get me there. I don't need to take a psychedelic and to have an epiphany. I don't need to do that to tap into the source code of the universe. I am already there. And that's the thing, is like, you think you need that stuff in order to get you somewhere, but you don't. That's what I have learned through age and wisdom. And it's gotten to a point, like I said, I don't want to be around those people. So me, baby, I am solo dolo. I cut everybody off and I went into the void. You know, I went straight into the darkness. Because light shines brightest in the dark. It's like, oh, I was in the dark and now I can see the light. I went there by myself. Ain't nobody gonna do this for me. Nobody is here to cheer me on. But wait till you see me on TV and then they're gonna be like, oh my God, I know her, she's my friend. No, I don't have any of those. By the time I'm there, which I will be, it's like, I won't have friends, I'll have fans. I already have fans. So yeah, that's one thing sobriety has taught me. Sobriety is not boring. Sobriety can really help you unleash your creativity. Like it did me. You know, everybody's different. Everybody's different. But I refuse to be a mindless zombie. And that's what I feel like. I feel like like when I go out for my walk every day. I walk a lot just to get outside, get some fresh air, get some exercise, just get my heart flowing. I look at these people like they are non-player characters in my video game. I just see people walking by. Nobody ever smiles. It's like everybody's just like, everybody's looking head down, looking at their phone, looking like, somebody just killed their dog. I feel like I'm in a world full of zombies. And the few that aren't are drawn to my light. Because the ones that are awake and are alive, it's like they're the moth and I'm the flame. And I get so much attention from those people because light recognizes like. It's very simple. So I attract attention wherever I go. I don't chase, I attract. But you got to be careful with what you attract because you can attract the wrong things. So it's very important to have mantras. And anything I'm doing, anything can be made into a ritual. Like even when I'm in the shower, I'll be saying a mantra. I attract what I want. I repel what I don't. And it works. And that's the thing with the power of belief. It's just like the placebo effect. If you really believe something's going to work, it will. If you don't, it won't. It's like I always go back to that saying, those who don't believe in magic will never find it. But I am magic. I don't have to read a magic book. I don't have to read a spell book or anything. Honestly, I look at all of my writings and my poems like they are spells. And one thing about spells, like if you ever read a book or read anything, just see anything where there's a prophecy or something, right? And you all know the prophecy is going to come true because otherwise it wouldn't be a prophecy. Most prophecies are self-fulfilling just because it's prophesied to happen, so it does. So enough people believe that something's going to happen, and it does. But a lot of times with prophecies, they come in the form of poetry. They rhyme. And I believe that with spell work, it's like I don't need to pray to some god or some archetype or some demon or some angel. I don't have to, do a magic spell. I don't have to read a whole bunch of books on magic like some people do. I am magic. And I fully believe that. That's why I'm so tapped in. It's like people are so tapped out. They don't even realize their capabilities. And this is coming from someone who was raised in religion. I was raised Mormon. I am not Mormon. I would never claim to be that. For me, I feel like religion is for people who are still asleep. Religion is for people who can't save themselves. That's why you need somebody to save you. If you know that you are God's creation, okay, God created you, so that means you're also God. There's God in you. But you don't believe in yourself, then you don't believe in God either. How you talking about you believe in God, but you don't believe in yourself? You love God, but you don't love yourself. And if you know that there's God in you, well, if God can create, so can I. I've created life. I've created the most divine thing that you can create. And now I look at all of my poems, all my bars, whatever you want to call it, all my raps. Like, it's just magic. It's like I am God. Like, like, what you're reading is my own personal Bible, my Quran, whatever you want to call it. And I'm so benevolent that I'm giving it to y'all too. And I'm like, I'm tap in. This is me putting you on game. If you get put on game, guess what? They can't run game on you. And a few years ago, I didn't know none of this. I did not know none of you. I would have thought that it was a different person than me talking right now, because I had no idea of this knowledge. And I went through just a spiritual awakening. And that's when my gift came back. Once I knew who I was. If you know who you are, you're unstoppable. Like I said, there's no height that's out of my reach. I get what I want because I believe there's no height that's out of my reach. Only I can stop me. No one. I'm unstoppable. You can't do nothing. You can't harm me. You can't hurt me. No weapon formed shall prosper, right? The only thing that will prosper is me. And so I take everything. I take lessons from everything. I take lessons from everything I've been through. I take lessons I read from the Bible and I'll write it in my own shit. And religious people don't like that. Like I said, I'm your modern day Jesus and I'll set you free. Because you shouted into the stars, come save me. And I answered your call. Duh, who else could it be? See, that's what I do with the power of belief. You gave your power away and I took it from me. So imagine like a prayer, right? A prayer is, okay, you're praying to somebody. You're sending that through the airwaves, through the radio waves. But see, the thing about radio waves is they can be intercepted. Whoever you're trying to talk to may not be the only one that hears that. And somebody else might pick that up and be like, hold on. Let me go answer this call. Let me see what I can take them for. I believe that if you're not praying to yourself, you're praying to the wrong deity and you're giving your power totally away. Totally. That's why I don't vote. Some people are like, oh, it's so important to vote. For which old white man is going to ruin the country for the next 4 years. And if you vote, that means that, first of all, you trust the government. Which, let's not even go into that. Because, whoa. If you trust the government, this is the least of your problems. So if you vote, you trust that your vote counts and the government's going to do the right thing because they're always known for doing that, right? But really, it's just a ploy for you to give your power away. You're wasting your time and your energy. Oh, you got to take off work and wait in line for 5 hours to vote for somebody that don't give a damn about you, that don't know you, that's not going to do anything to benefit you. But go ahead. Talk to me about the importance of voting. I vote for me. That's who I vote for. I'm the only person that gets my vote. Because as far as I'm concerned, the only person, place, or thing that I know of for sure with a certainty, well, besides my kids, because they came out of me, so I know that's my creation. As far as I know, I'm the only thing that's real. Like, as far as I know, this is the Matrix, and this is all about me, and y'all are just non-player characters. So there's this condition, I think it's called solipsism syndrome. And I guess you could say, like, I'm not crazy. Well, that's debatable. But, where it's like, people that have this, they believe that they're the only one that really exists. And other people only exist because they do. And it's like, this whole universe is here for me. And if I die, like, y'all die, because this shit is really mine. I learned about that in the book, fucking, what was the psychopath's name? Patrick Hockstetter, he had that, but he was crazy. Like, he dissected animals and shit. He had a refrigerator full of animals and all types of shit. I'm not that crazy. But as far as I know, I'm the only one that's real. Like, prove to me that y'all are real. Y'all could be robots for all I know. I ain't seen you bleed. So, that being said, who you gonna believe in if not you? Who you gonna call? The Ghostbusters? I'm telling you, you better know who you are. Because if you don't, somebody else is going to figure that out for you and take full advantage. Take full advantage. You can't let them do that. You have to always play it so you are at the advantage. You know what they say, home field advantage, right? You got to have that always, no matter where you at. Because when you know that your turf is earth, like, I'm from everywhere. Somebody asked me where I was from the other day. Like, excuse me, are you from around here? So I'm from everywhere. Why? Funny conversation, though. The guy goes, it's a dollar van driver. If you live in New York, you know what I'm talking about. And he goes, I was wondering if you could give me directions. Deadpan, right? I said, where? Your heart. Boy, bye. You're going to get lost in the sauce. You don't want these problems because you wouldn't know how to solve them. It was funny, though. I laughed. It gave me a good laugh. I said, hi, that's a good one, and walked away. And he's like, but I'm serious. And I told him I'm married. Now, not to a man, to the money, but they ain't got to know that. I just say I'm married. Because I'm not about to verbally spar with you if you're not on par with me. Because I will literally just obliterate you. I'm here for scintillating conversation. I want somebody who can come at me with what I do. With words. That is the most, like, if y'all seen Alien Earth, where this super rich fuck boy cavalier, he's like, he kills a whole bunch of people, wrecks his spaceship just so he can have an interesting fucking conversation. That's me. Because I want to meet somebody who can push me to be better than I am. I want somebody to spit me a bar that's like, damn, I wish I would have said that first. That shit is hot. I ain't seen that. I want somebody, but I push myself very, very, very hard. But I want that outside person. Like, if I'm gonna deal with anybody, I'm not dealing with a zombie. I'm dealing with somebody that's a pusher, baby. It's like we playing a game of tug of war. Because, like I say this, if you're not, listen close, if you're not stimulating me, you're simulating me. I'll let that sink in. If you're not stimulating me, you're simulating me. And I need that stimulation. I want to meet somebody who is on par with the way that I think. I haven't met them yet, but that doesn't mean that they're not out there. I believe that everybody has a counterpart, you know. Y'all can call it soulmates, twin flames, I don't give a fuck about none of them labels. Because I have enough flame for everybody, baby. This is straight fire. But if I want to be around somebody, I don't want to be around a zombie. I don't want to be around a pill. I don't want to be around a pothead. No disrespect. I want to be around somebody that I can have an interesting fucking conversation with. And that it just flows. And I can talk and I can look down and it's like, damn, we've been going to this shit for 2 hours. The only person I can talk to that long is myself. Because, like, I be feeling awkward when I talk to people. If they're not there. it feels like I went, like I said, I feel like I'm going from Grand Rapids to back to the lazy river. And that's why I'm single. Married to the money, but single. Because I refuse to lower my intellect for somebody. It's like, if I can't talk to you about like all the shit, if I can't talk to you about the universe, like if you can't tell me what the 4 fundamental forces are, if you don't know about gravity, electromagnetism, the strong nuclear force, the weak nuclear force, and how those tie into everything, and how it affects you. Gravity affects all of us. Energy and mass are interchangeable, right? Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. So energy is mass. Mass is energy. They're interchangeable. We're all made of mass and matter. And if we're all basically made of the same thing, then one thing can become another, right? I'm somewhat of an armchair physicist. Like, I don't know the equations. Don't get me started on all the math and bullshit. But I have a fundamental understanding of it. Gravity, electromagnetism. I go to sleep every night, like, listening to something that's going to stimulate me. Whether it be stoicism, whether it just be, you know, quantum physics. I am a super nerd. Because this is stuff that fascinates me. It's like everybody wants to know where they came from, but you look to Christianity or one of these other bullshit religions and not realizing that everything, the universe, it means everything that exists. And it can even go deeper, the many worlds theory, the omniverse, the multiverse. So you are a part of that, and you are bound by the rules of the universe that you're in. So I don't need the 10 commandments. Like, I need this. This helps me explain life better than any of that ever could. And you know how I know we're eternal? That death is only an illusion? Yeah, like your body will die, but you'll be back somewhere in the universe. Because what's another fundamental law of the universe? Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. So if you know that you are a product of this universe, that your energy is going to still inhabit this universe somewhere, even when your physical body dies. So that is what? Immortality. You will be transformed into something else. Evolution. And that's the way I look at it. Like, I take science and I equate it to my life. Because that makes so much more sense to me than somebody saying thou shalt not drink, thou shalt not kill, whatever the fuck. I don't even know. I don't even know them, because it doesn't apply to me. Like, you would have to apply to me, and I'm not taking applications at this time. Sorry. So when you know who you are, you know where you come from, then you know where you're going. See, I took it real deep. I started talking about sobriety, and now I'm talking about the universe. But that's how it goes. I just go with the flow. The conversation just flows. And yeah, I would love to meet somebody that can match me in conversation. Like a chess game. It's like, if you're a chess master, do you play chess with just anybody? No. If you're really fucking good at something, do you do it with people who are mediocre? No. You don't. That's why all the people that are the best of the best sit at one table. And I'm just trying to fill my chairs. Because otherwise I don't need people. People in this universe to me are like tools. And tools are meant to be used. We all use each other for certain things. I don't think it's a bad thing to be used. It's only a bad thing to be used in a way that you don't want to be used. But then again, that's your fault, because people can only treat you how you allow them to. Don't let somebody use you that way if you don't want them to. And if somebody uses you, make sure you use them even better. Like, it's got to be a symbiotic relationship. I'm not just going to let you use me and I'm not getting nothing better from you. That's stupid. That doesn't even make sense to me. So I look at people like they're tools. Like, if I have, for instance, let me turn this shit around real quick. How do I turn this around? Oops, I meant to turn it around. Let me just turn it around. So you see my little entertainment center, right? My little flames, fireplace, whatever. You think I was about to put that together? Wrong. I used someone else to put it together. I used someone like a tool. They brought their tools. I had a little handyman come over. I'm not about to do that. Why would I? If I don't have to. So that's what I mean when I say use people as tools. Tools are for a reason. Like if you have a nail, right? And you need to nail it into some wood. But like the only tool you have is your fist. But then, some Joe Blow walks by and you see he has a hammer. Are you going to ask him to use his hammer, or are you going to try to nail a hole in the wall with your fist? Tools are meant to be used. And when you really tap in, the tools come to you. It's like, I got a whole tool set at my disposal. I don't even know how I got it. Like, it just came to me. And when you really tapped in, you understand. I say this all the time. I don't work for things. Things work for me. Period. I don't work for things. Things work for me. Again, you have to take these old adages and these old sayings, and you have to make them work for you. That's why you see me twist words around in everything. This is why all of my poetry is wordplay. Because I'll take a common saying and I'll twist it. For instance, so do you know that saying? I'm sure you do. Curiosity killed the cat. Some people may not know this. If you didn't, that's cool. But the whole saying is curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. Right? But I said, curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction didn't bring it back. Used up your ninth life going tit for tat. Got no time for conversation. You can miss me with that. Get a life, or better yet, get in your bag. Careful, it's not the kind that comes with a toe tag. You dig? So everybody's talking about, I'm getting in my bag. I'm getting in my bag. Does it have a toe tag on it? Because, baby, you in a body bag. You're supposed to be in one of the bags that they carry back and forth from the bank. So even that, I'm in my bag. I'm in my bag. You could be in a trash bag, too. Specificity is very important. Like, that reminds me of a story where this guy made a wish. He wished for, I'm sure y'all heard it, where he wished for like $50,000 or something. And the person made the wish come true. He got the $50,000, but the $50,000 was a settlement because his son was killed in some fucking stupid work accident. Like, you have to be very specific about what you want. And when you put it into motion, you have to say things very specifically. And when you learn to play with words, it comes easy. It comes easy to twist words around. Like, I'm good at manipulating words. Words work for me. I used to be so unsure of myself in conversation with people. Like, I didn't have the confidence. You could put me on stage in front of 1 million people right now, and I will talk the same way that I'm talking right now to my audience of one. Like, I have the gift of gab. I can talk. I have gifts are meaningless if you don't use them. Like, why I started posting again, I feel like it would be a shame. It would be a waste of talent. To have this talent and not share it with the world. To have this talent and be timid. To have this talent and just and nobody ever know. It's like they talking about the big three, and he says, this is big me. That's how I feel. Can't none of them fuck with me neither. You might say that's cocky, but I don't care. Sure of yourself. That's all. That's really all it boils down to. I know what I do with words. I have always done it. And you just have to learn to do that too. Make words work for you. Make everything work for you. Say, I don't work. Things work for me. I don't work for things. Things work for me. You have to take sayings that are already there and rearrange them for you. Just like you rearrange the furniture. Like you rearranging your room because you're done tired of the way it looks, right? I do that all the time, you know. I'm always switching my stuff up. I got tapestries hanging everywhere. This is my canopy above my bed. Like, my shit is lit. I love my space. And I'm constantly switching up the look. I love my feng shui. So yeah, that's just, this is my preaching for the day. I thought this was gonna only be about 10 minutes, but, and it's like the reason I'm doing this is like I feel compelled to. It's like, okay, I feel compelled to speak about these things because there are people that need to hear it, and they're not going to hear it from anybody else. So then at that point, it becomes, if not me, who? If not me, nobody. Because nobody else is me. Nobody else can be me. Only I can do this way. You know, a lot of people would give these words away. I spit bars to just about everybody. Like, if you've ever met me in real life, like, chances are I've spit you a bar. And one person had the audacity to say to me, I put this in a poem too. I said, somebody said I should be a ghostwriter. I said I'd rather be trapped in a Nicolas Cage ghostwriter. That goes back to giving your power away. If your words are the best of the best, why would you give them to someone who is less? Why would you have the word? If you weren't capable of delivering the words yourself, they wouldn't be delivered to you. They would be given to somebody else. Imagine that. Imagine me having these words and selling it to one of your favorite rappers, and now they done made a hit out of my shit, and now there's lyrics everywhere. Somebody's making t-shirts with some shit I said, and I made pennies on the dollar, and they done made $1 million because I was dumb enough to give it to them because I wasn't confident enough in myself to deliver it myself. I didn't have a flow. When I first started doing this, I didn't spit. It was just written words. It was written words. That's it. It was pure poetry. And, you know, I would tell certain people I was writing, they're like, oh, you know, spit it for me. And that's how I got a flow. I am self-taught in every way. Nobody taught me how to do this. Nobody gave me a book. Nobody gave me the instructions. Nobody showed me the way. Okay, nobody take credit for me but me. You know, I had my ex actually tried to take credit for me. He's like, I got you writing again. First of all, homie, you didn't even know I was a poet. You know, we were together. I was having some feelings. And out of the blue one day, I just wrote you a poem. I did that, not me. How many bitches have you dicked down and they came back to you with some stellar poetry? None, right? So you didn't do nothing. You were a tool that I needed to open a door. That was it. And now you serve your purpose and you're gone. Because that wasn't forever. That was just, like I said, it was one of those, you know, drink, party, fuck, smoke, all that bullshit type things. But that stuff can feel so good in the moment that it feels like love. But looking back, that wasn't love. It felt like it at the time, and it gave me the motivation that I needed in order to write. Because like I said, I'm a very emotive writer. I tap in to emotions, whether it be anger, sadness, love. I have a lot of love poems. I haven't really dropped any of those yet, but I'll drop some of those too. Because that was what I first started writing about, was love poetry. And then there was the breakup poetry, which I've read some of those. And then there were the ones where I was sad about losing my kids. So I have run the gambit on emotions. There's not just one thing I write about. There's not just one emotion I write about. Everything is based on an emotion, but they're all different. It's like if I'm feeling down about myself, I'll write a poem. And by the end of the poem, I've already gotten rid of that feeling and transformed it. Because I remember I started one off and it was like, you know, how can somebody capable of being so great make so many mistakes? But at the end, I twisted it around. I think the last words I said, no matter how many mistakes I make, I will always be great. So even if I feel down about myself, again, transmute that. You have to transmute it. That's all really I do. I take emotions, I bottle them up and I sell them to other people. That's all anybody does that really does what I do. I feel like in order to be a writer, a rapper, anybody who uses a singer, like, you have to have been through some shit. Because otherwise, what are you going to write about? Today I went frolicking in a field full of daisies. I didn't do nothing with my life. I'm just so lazy. I don't know. I mean, I imagine that's what I would sound like if pain didn't fuel my purpose. Because I have been through a lot of pain in life. I've survived homelessness. When I first moved to New York, the first 4 months I was up here, I lived in a car in Brooklyn. And anybody that ever knows that about me, I tell rarely, very few people, but people are always so surprised because I still have such a positive outlook on life. I'm still such a positive person. I don't let nothing get to me. Like I said, you would have to apply to me, and that doesn't apply to me. I'm not taking applications. You can choose to be miserable. You can choose to suffer. Or you can take that pain and turn it into your higher purpose. Like, all the people that you see that end up wildly successful and they're like, oh, this shit happened to me when I was young. I was molested. I was this, I was that. Me too, sis. But guess what? I don't let it haunt me anymore. I don't let anything haunt me. I don't have ghosts. Nothing haunts me. And that is a wonderful feeling because I have been through, I've been through hell and I prevailed. You know, I've been burned. I don't know how well you can see this. I've been burned here, on here where my chakras are, right there. I have a scar from when they took a skin graft. I've had 15 or 16 surgeries total. Half skin graft surgeries. My health wasn't that great after having kids. Like, my gallbladder went out. I had to have that removed. I had a hernia. I've been through some shit. I don't know if you can see the scar between these two fingers. And then again on this side. I fell face down on a dishwasher and a knife was sticking up. And it went right through my hand like butter. And you know what I did? I just wrapped a dish towel around it. And I got in my car. And I drove myself to the hospital. And I walked in and I held my hand up. I said, yeah, I need to be seen. I have been through countless pain. That's not like, that's really the tip of the iceberg. Like, I don't even have to get too deep into it because I don't have to. I just let it fuel me. I take all that pain. Pain is fuel. I actually wrote a poem about that yesterday. I don't remember. It takes me a minute to remember. I have like 150 poems just on deck. And I write. Because if I don't write, I'll just lose the bar. Like, if I have a bar in my head, I have to start writing immediately. What did I say? Not word for word, but it was like, imagine living a life without pain. That's like having a head without a brain. Or some shit. I don't remember. Actually, let me pull it up on my iPad. I can tell you. I'm sitting here acting like I ain't got a tool that I can use to tell you exactly what I'm talking about. See? So yeah, pain. Pain, if you let it, it will drag you down in the dirt. Pain will try to end you. Pain will try to take you down. Don't let it. Okay, here we go. I don't know if it's finished. But okay. Listen to this. Imagine living a life that is painless. Kind of like having a head that is brainless. Pain is fuel, a useful tool. Use it not, well, I pity the fool. More for me and less for you. Never learn to swim, you'll drown in the pool. I wear my scars proud and I shout my story loud. You can take life by the handle or the sharp edge of the blade. Know what game you're playing or you'll always be played. What have you done in your moment in the sun? Were you one of many or the one they wish to be? Many are called and few are chosen. Do you answer the call or do you lay frozen? So I let that pain fuel me. Pain, it just really, it becomes nothing. Like, you can't really tell, but I'm pretty tatted up. My entire back is tattooed. And that was very painful. But you know what? Like, my tattoo artist, my piercer, they were just like, I don't know, they thought I was on drugs or something, or had used some numbing cream. Because I would just lay there for hours and take it. I would just meditate. I would just dig deep. Because it's just like, at a certain point, the pain becomes a release. At a certain point, if you're really crazy, then you can get off on the pain, you know? I think the most I sat for 7, 8, 9 hours. And then I saw that some of these, like, football players and jocks, they be going under general anesthesia to do the same shit I did. Get a whole tattoo, like, they'll do a whole tattoo in a day. They'll have 6 or 7 people working on them at the same time. They're going under anesthesia. And I don't even use numbing cream. I haven't yet. And I have some painful tattoos. The legs hurt. The back hurts. I mean, these don't really hurt. Ribs don't really hurt. Back and legs, to me, are painful. But the pain is a part of the process. And you got to trust the process. I trust the process because I trust me. And that's just it. So yeah, that's your daily lesson. You know, let's say, Lord, give us our daily bread. Go make you some toast with it. Deuces.